This is Valley News Live at 10.
For anyone who didn't understand how violent that event was, I saw it, I documented it, and I experienced it.
Good evening. That's a British filmmaker who was embedded with the group called the Proud Boys during the January 6th insurrection in the U.S. Capitol. His speech tonight was part of the House Select Committee's first of 6 public hearings as they unveiled the findings of their nearly year-long investigation.
Our live coverage just wrapped up about an hour ago. Much more on that in just a few minutes. But first, in light of the mass school shooting that took place in Uvalde, Texas, tonight the Fargo Police Department presented their plans to the Police Oversight and Advisory Board on how they would handle active shooters, hostage situations, and bomb threats in our schools.
Valley News Team's Aaron Walling brings us the story.
Fargo police say the role of school resource officers plays a crucial part in school safety, building connections and being involved with the student body.
As much information sharing and crisis situations that we can avoid, that's our best defense. And we do that a ton on a daily basis by relationship building with the teachers, the administration, but also the students and their parents.
The advisory board asked FPD about the possibility of having educators and staff within schools being trained to handle firearms to deal with threats. Fargo Police Chief David Zapolsky stepped in to say that it is a school district call to make.
It would be their decision in terms of if they wanted to do something like that, because you're talking about teachers and liability for them and safety and all of that.
After Uvalde police have been criticized for not doing enough to limit the violence, FPD made it clear they would do things differently and be more aggressive.
If there is any information that there would be innocent civilians in there, that suspect is actively engaging, there's no waiting at that point. We will go in there immediately, regardless of how many people we have with us at the time.
Fargo police say the meeting is important for the community to hear,
So that there's no uncertainty about how our department would respond to a similar type of incident.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
And for more information on FPD's plans, go to your free VNL News app and click on this story.
Outside tonight, we had a few sprinkles, some showers move through and was otherwise been a great weather week. First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us now with details. Hutch.
Justin, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. Quiet conditions here in the FM area, and in fact, the majority of the rain showers missed most of the metro. We got a few drops out of it, but on the edge of town, this is what we saw. I captured it on time lapse. Check it out. Showers just west of town, not far from Castleton. Again, we talked the other day about these high base clouds that much of the water evaporates before it gets to the ground, but it certainly brought a burp of cool to cool things off a pinch, but still near 70 Fargo, 70 Fergus Falls, 72 in Grand Forks. Rain cooled weather off to the west, and here's a look at that radar right now. Most of the concentrated showers, Jamestown and northern Stutsman County, on up to the international border here near the Walhalla area and Cavalier. Now, for our area, hits and miss spits, that's it. And that's all we have to worry about for most of us tonight. This heavier batch of showers out here moving due south. I don't think we have to contend with that. These, by the way, producing 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain in spots, up to 1/2 of an inch of rain. All details in your hour-by-hour forecast on an increased chance of showers and storms on your Friday forecast. And we'll look ahead at a hot weekend and some stormy weather as well in a minute.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Hutch.
New for you tonight, a 19-year veteran of the Fargo Police Department remains fired after a meeting by the City Commission. Officer Justin Nachilo is trying to clear his name and resign. He was fired in December after an internal review found he mishandled 2 cases. His attorney says he's being used as a scapegoat. Tonight, the commission voted 2-2, a tie, meaning the termination decision stands. However, he would still maintain his peace officer license within the state of North Dakota.
A meal train has now been organized for the family of Jet Franson, the young man who drowned in Detroit Lakes last night. You can gift the family a meal, help them with necessary house chores, lawn care, groceries, or just send them some money. Go to valleynewslive.com for the link on how to donate. That drowning is acting as a somber reminder about water safety since he was not wearing a life vest. A local swim instructor says it's also important for beginners to learn how to swim face down, remain buoyant, learn to rotate over when they need a break or a breath. And parents, pay attention to what your kids are wearing when they swim.
Though that light blue swimsuit might match your kids' eyes and make them look oh so great, it's very important that you have vibrant colors on so that your kids are more easy to see. If you can't immediately discern that that is my child, it's probably not the right color swimsuit.
He adds, keep water safety basics in mind, like maintaining a sight line with kids whenever they're in the water.
In the Northern Valley, one man was arrested today after leading East Grand Forks police on a chase that ended in the Red River. Police say around 3 this morning they tried to stop the vehicle, but that driver took off. The man led police on a chase until he ditched the vehicle and jumped in the river. He was arrested a few hours later. The man's name has still not been released. Over in Moorhead, one COVID testing site is taking on additional duties. It'll be one of Minnesota's 3 test-to-treat COVID locations in the state. That'll allow people to get tested for COVID-19. Then, if they're positive and determined to be high risk, they can receive a free prescription for the antiviral medication Paxlovid at the same time. Moorhead's COVID test site is at the former Thomas Edison Elementary, located at 1110 South 14th Street.
Minnesotans who worked essential jobs through the thick of the pandemic are now signing up for Hero Pay. Tens of thousands have already applied, but some are running into problems with the site being slow or crashing, but officials say they want to help them no matter what.
No other way to put it. These people went through a heck of a lot. We staggered our break times. We put shields in between the lunch tables so that they didn't have to have lunch right across from somebody. But, you had to do something.
All of the state's estimated 667,000 frontline workers now have a chance to apply for these $750 checks. Applications close July 22nd. To find out if you qualify, visit our website, valleynewslive.com. New tonight, the application period for Home Help MN has been extended until August 17th. That provides $109 million in federal aid for homeowners who have fallen behind on their mortgage or other homeownership-related expenses because of the pandemic. The program opened for applications May 17th. It's already received applications from nearly 2,800 households. Those with the program estimate 85% of homeowners who have past due payments meet this income requirement and can apply. You can find those requirements and all the information on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this link. We mentioned at the top of the hour, the Congressional Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol held its first ever public hearing tonight.
CBS's Natalie Brand breaks it down for us.
In a rare primetime hearing, the Select House Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack began laying out what it has learned so far.
Donald Trump oversaw and coordinated a sophisticated 7-part plan to overturn the presidential election and prevent the transfer of presidential power.
The committee revealed video never before seen by the public.
I am not allowed to say what's going to happen today because everyone's just going to have to watch.
As it played, tears flowed for Officer Harry Dunn, who helped defend the Capitol, and Sandra Garza, the girlfriend of Officer Brian Sicknick, who died the day after the attack.
What I saw was just a war scene.
The panel also heard testimony from U.S. Capitol Police Officer Caroline Edwards, who suffered a traumatic brain injury that day.
I mean, I saw friends with blood all over their faces. I was slipping in people's blood. I just remember that moment of stepping behind the line and just seeing the absolute war zone that the West Front had become.
The committee has interviewed around 1,000 witnesses, including some of former President Trump's family. But several of his allies have fought subpoenas, including House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy.
And let's be honest, it is a smokescreen for Democrats to push their radical agenda.
Last May, Senate Republicans blocked the creation of a nonpartisan committee that would have given both parties subpoena power and delivered a report by the end of 2021. Instead, the House Select Committee's next hearing is Monday, with several more this month. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Former Vice President Mike Pence's counsel, Greg Jacob, is scheduled to testify before the committee in that June 16th upcoming hearing.
The investigation found the mob of Trump supporters were heard chanting, "Hang Mike Pence," outside the Capitol.